So was Canada involved with the vaccine because they were working with the Chinese, or what? I mean, not the vaccine, but the COVID-19.
Well, see, we're not 100% sure that what they created actually came from uh, the interconnection between Canada. It could have came from the interconnection they have with our own people, our own companies, or a combination of those two things. I don't have that information 100%.
All right.
But so they don't know which lab, or if it was multiple labs, or if that lab was using that particular site's information to create that exact product that has injured the entire world. We don't know which one's which. All I know is in the latter part of 2018, I received a message that they were looking to develop this, and they were doing the lab and to release it in a very precise way to take out world leaders like President Trump, and then unleash it on the world, and then to be able to take over the world through a long-term process by building the AI system. That's
okay. Now, wouldn't you agree, though, that the Chinese, communist Chinese, are working with a certain group of the Illuminati, what we call the Illuminati, the 13 families, the high-level, so-called people trying to rule, dark magicians, as I call them, etc. So they're not operating on their own. They're also working with. And, the British government was also working with them behind the scenes, and always has been. And, because all of these, even going back to the days of the East India Company, if you will.
Yeah. So they were working with the Rockefellers Foundation. They were working with the Biden family. They were working with Bill Gates
and Soros.
George Soros started backpedaling, saying China's very dangerous about a year and a half ago. But yes,
he financed the lab.
I know, but I said he started backpedaling. So yes, so the Soros Foundation. It was all my lawsuit. Why did I sue the Soros Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, all these things? And then they had a lot of researchers come in from Canada, from Europe, from US, and they did business with these guys. They paid them. You see, and even professors, not just a Harvard guy, a lot of professors were paid money. And so going back to the sex tape thing, I disclose what I said in there is President Trump and William Barr, please release the China sex tapes of our corrupt politicians and corporate leaders. What do corporate leaders cover? Any corporation that's a leadership, right? So, and then corrupt politicians. I just didn't mean the Bidens, okay? Because I said I said, it doesn't have anything to do with these sex tapes, the $1.5 billion and the like. So I meant, why is everyone quiet in China's concentration camps? So when I said the words, does it have anything to do with these $1.5 billion, they knew what that I knew. And obviously $1.5 billion.
Then if you have information, come on, the election is in a few days. There's nothing to lose at this point.
I had information, but what I said is for it to be subpoenaed. So, because I didn't want to mess with whatever, who had. So,
are you afraid they're going to kill you if you come out with this?
No. So, okay, they have sex tapes of CNN reporters, of New York Times reporters. They have sex tapes of NBA players. They have sex tapes of actually even conservative outlets too, of media outlets.
Sure.
They have. So in that video, I said. Where was Dr. Fauci when they needed him the most? When the bras came off and the underwear came off, so their mask.
Yeah, well, Fauci is he's as black as they come on as well.
Here's the thing: when I did that, they didn't invite Dr. Fauci to the White House thing for a good 36 hours. They thought I meant, it was Fauci that had a video. I'm not saying they didn't or he did, but what I said is, where was they when they needed him the most? And I did another video request last week as soon as Giuliani put it out. And this was a little different because in my book, and this one I have TikTok, I explain the dangers of it. But in the other one, I asked the Vatican. I asked the Chinese Communist Party to release not only the Biden family sex tapes, but the Democratic Party and the Republican Party and the Vatican younger boy child sex tapes to Western governments for prosecution. So what does that mean? The Vatican, you know how much dirt they have on the Vatican and the Pope's people? More than anything else. They have sex tapes of priests, of Catholic priests, of male priests having sex with little boys. They have it. So, and I did a tweet. So when I do that tweet, what does that mean? That means, yeah.
Okay, but you know, I have to tell you that the Trump administration, we know, that the Trump administration has been aware of this. This is what they set out to do, is to stop all of this. Okay, we've known about the reptilians under the Vatican. We've known the Vatican has sold out a long time ago. I mean, they were rescuing Nazis, for God's sake. I mean, we're going back, many, many years. So these places have been in league with each other, and they've been using and abusing and using humans as sex slaves, both children and older, at least young adults and whatever, So this human trafficking is worldwide, and it also goes off planet, as you probably know.
Yeah.
But looking at the situation, so the concentration is on Biden, but you could go back through the administrations we've had before, which includes Obama and Hillary and
Bill
Bill.
Clinton, they have tapes of Bill Clinton. So that's another one. So that's I also, that's in this island everyone's talking about. You don't have to just be in China to have the Chinese Communist Party tape you. That's what people won't get. They think, oh, if I wasn't in China, I'd have my tapes. No. They got if you were in Rome, they got your tapes. If you were on the island, they have your tapes. If you were in a different nation, or even if you were in a certain city in America, they have your tapes. That's what I understand about espionage. So, and here's the thing: even average Americans who use certain TikTok or certain things, they spied on you. It's not just leaders and influential people. All
right. So they're motivated to gather data so they can use it at a later time in order to blackmail. This has also been a technique used by our own government, other governments, obviously. So given that scenario, what are we looking at in the future? Like, is there any disclosures you can give us today that we can later say, well, on Kerry's program, Cyrus talked about this, this, and this. He hadn't talked about it before, and it wasn't out in the mainstream or even the alternative media. Anything that you can think of? And I also want to know what you think about the election and Trump, whether he's going to win.
This virus here is going to replicate. It's going to kill a lot more people. So it does.
Well, it's made by AI. You even admitted that.
Right. I'm the first person to come out and say that. So it was in my book before it happened. So,
when you say the virus is going to replicate, they're just doing another version of it so that they can infect more people. How are they going to do it?
This is the first version itself. It's a self-replicating, mutating virus that becomes plague-like. That not only gets the human body to actually digress for your nervous system to break down neurological pathways, for your cells to be damaged, divide in a very unorthodox way, but also for there's brain damage, there's blood poisoning. Anything you can actually imagine it can do to your body, in organ failure. So that's one. Secondly, it can move from not just human to human, animal to animal, human to animal. It can take out animals. Like there was a minx population in Utah, like about 3 weeks ago. In a week, 8,000 of them got cleaned out. 8,000, all of them died because of COVID or CCP virus. So that's two. In China, it got crops. So it can get your crops as well.
Okay, but how is it distributed? Because I'm not going to buy that it's contagious between humans or animals, for that matter.
It's contagious. It's airborne. It's contagious between touch, through humans, through animals, the products. It's something. It's like nanotechnology. It's so microscopic. And here's the thing: for some people, they're immune because they have a certain higher.
If you look at the death rates worldwide, most people seem to.
That's why people don't get it. This is a long-term bioweapon. So for the Chinese, it took a lot out, a lot of people out at a certain time. It affects different races of people differently. But if it has, bat stuff in it and human stuff in it, and AIDS, or all kind of different stuff, and stuff that I don't even know what it is, it has a long-term effect. When you take these therapeutics, it's kind of life-saving drugs. Same time, what Trump took, it had mice particles. So he's mixing. He had to put animal particles inside his body to make a difference. So that's one. And then if you take, and inject nanotechnology, that means they're messing with your DNA. They're trying to mask this issue by putting something inside you that's not human. And once you do that, they're hoping the mixture between that nanotechnology and what's been created can actually separate and not mess with your body. But I don't think that's the case because it's so microscopic. It can replicate itself past that nanotechnology, or create that, make that technology divide or replicate in a different way to cause organ failures in your body, or even nervous system failures, or even at the cellular levels, because this actually attacks the energy channels, the chakra points, or the meridian lines.